Check. 1 minute till we go live. 1 minute until we are live. Check. 1, 2. Check. Fame on the beat. That's right, if you didn't know this intro beat, one of my beats I made real quick. 10 seconds, we go live. Hope you guys are ready. Welcome to the Fame Show. This is episode number 3. If you missed any of my previous shows, you can find them up on YouTube or on any of my social medias, which is Joe Fame on Facebook. So you'll find it pretty quick, or on Twitch, twitch.tv Joe Fame. I'm basically everywhere. Anytime you type in Joe Phame, you will find me. So today I got 2 special guests coming on. They are hip hop artists / producers. They go by Reggie Reg and Supa. So they'll be calling just a couple moments, and we're gonna dive into what they're all about, what kind of music and what kind of style they are. So if you are new to my show, make sure you follow me on all the platforms at Joe Fame. If you have a talent that you want to be showcased for the world to see, just hit me up, because I would love to have you on my show. We got special guests all across the boards from all different types, from music to comedians, games, models, dancers, basically anything entertainment related. Basically, we want you. So to show off your talents, it's like America's Got Talent, but everyone gets a chance to show off what they got. So like I said, we'll be just getting in just a couple of moments, just waiting for them to call on in. I hope you guys are having a great Thursday. And if you're working, if you're not working still, hopefully everything opens up back soon so everybody gets back to work and start grinding, because summer is coming, and nothing's worse than being broke during the summertime when there's a bunch of stuff that you could do. So hopefully things get pretty good pretty soon. So yeah. Just letting them know that you guys can call in when they're ready. Sloppy typing. So yes, like I said, if you missed my guest yesterday, Clarence Young, he was a broadcast technician, videographer. So like I said, if you missed that show yesterday, he gave a lot of great details about Hawaii, working on a cruise ship. You know, you can just check out that show on YouTube or on my Facebook at Joe Fame. And once again, we're all just tuning in another Thursday, getting all things all organized. We got a great lineup also starting next week. So this is the last episode for this week, and then we'll continue back on Tuesday when I got a whole nother lineup of guests, which are going to be from clothing lines to a realtor to a bassist. So we're definitely going to have a lot of diverse talent going on and some really good information you don't want to miss out on. So once again, you want to make sure to follow me on all the platforms. That's Joe Fame, Phame. Just follow me on all platforms. All right, let's see if I get them up really quick. Can you guys hear me? Hello, you guys there? Check 1, 2. I don't know what's going on there, end, but boop boop. I feel like I'm in a submarine right now. They connected? What's good, guys? What is going on? How rude. We'll see. We'll call him back really quick. Will he answer? Will they answer? I don't know what's going on. Check. Boop boop. They call him. All right. Hey, can you see me? Yo. Oh, you guys there?
Hey Joe, you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't see you, but I can hear you. So you guys connect with just audio or video? Whoa.
Straight, man. Turn the camera on.
Oh, there we go. Hey, I see you guys.
Yo,
You guys can see me?
yo,
What's good? Can you hear me?
yo, what up?
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I can hear you guys. All right. How you guys
Yeah,
doing?
we in the dungeon right now, man. We in the dungeon.
Yeah, cooking up some projects.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine, bro.
All right, sounds good. So what's going on, guys? Why don't you tell everybody who you are, where you're from?
Say what?
Well, just let
Yeah.
everybody know who you
Hey, man,
are. Oh.
go ahead, man. Do your thing, man.
I'm Reggie Reg, songwriter.
You know, the one and only, the realest, you know what I'm saying? Real super cool, man.
Where you guys from?
I'm from Sanford, Florida.
I'm originally from Fairfield, California. Grew up mostly in Colorado. Been out here for a few years, doing my thing, writing music and stuff.
All right, hell yeah. So how this is gonna work? I'm gonna ask you like a bunch of questions, and I'm gonna showcase some of your music that you guys got. Sound good?
All right, sounds cool.
All right. So the first question is very simple. How did you guys link up and meet? Like, how did you guys just end up, collaborating, and meeting?
Hold on, man. It's raining out here, man. Yeah, it's hailing like
Sorry.
It's bad out there.
Yeah,
man.
it's raining outside. It's a little bit of noise.
There's a lot of wind, like it's loud out there, man.
Oh, it's sunny by me still.
It sounds like a little baby tornado about to come or something. Well, pray to God we straight, you know.
Hey, not that far from me. It's sunny still. That's crazy.
But can you please ask that question again? I really want to answer that. I heard some of it.
No problem. So how did you guys link up? Like, how did you guys meet?
Well, I was producing for Best Believe, and he came to the studio with another friend of mine now, A Star, and they pretty much just were in the intern and just looking around, seeing what's going on. And I seen he was making beats, but you know he was dedicated to doing it. It wasn't about skill level; it's about drive. You know, you do anything if you got the drive to do it.
Exactly. That's the most
It
important
don't
part.
matter it don't matter where you start at, bro. It's like where you finish. So, you know, as long as you got that drive to be better every day, that's what it takes. And if I see that, I'm gonna try to help you, even if you're not up where I think you should be at. You're gonna get there. You know, if you got it, I'm with you. You're gonna get there.
Much respect. Much respect. Definitely. So, what do you guys prefer more? Do you guys prefer more producing music or actually writing, rhymes and raps for your music? Or
Both, both. I started off just making like beats and stuff, but like about a few months ago, I started rapping because I was like ghostwriting, not so much ghostwriting, but co-writing with people. And some of the artists I was working with, they were just not where they were just messing around in the studio too much, getting kind of fed up with that. So I just said, hey, why don't I just try to write a song myself? And I did it, and it came out really well. And I just thought, I could keep doing it. So I just kept doing it, and for long, I had just about enough for an album. So I was just like, hey, I don't got to worry about all that other drama. I can just do it myself.
Yeah, man, that's dope. Yeah, I help them with a lot of that, you know, transition. I've been recording a lot of music as well, but you know, I'm all over the place. I think I'm on everything. Like I've been writing since what 12. Been making beats since I was 13. You know, really putting in work and never giving up or giving in. Because like a lot of people around the way, they'll quit, come back, quit, come back when they start seeing things getting hot. Me, I don't care if it's hot, cold, you know what I'm saying, whatever's going on, I'm in it. I'm in it. For life, this is what I do. So I'm on everything. I write for you, I mix your music, engineer everything, you know what I'm saying? make the beat for whatever it takes.
That's how you gotta be in today's industry. You gotta be able to do it all, from writing to producing. It's kind of like, if you, more you could do, the better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, I used to write when I was a little kid, but I stopped doing it for like a really long time, and I didn't go back to it until like, say, I was on some rap site, and it was when something I wrote some comment on some rap site, and somebody didn't like it, so they decided to like diss me in some rhyme or something. And it was stupid, so I just started rapping back at
this
him.
record about you.
Yeah,
Man.
somebody started rapping.
Man, what the
The old school like AOL AIM beefs.
I was just killing this dude for like 3 days straight.
Oh man, yeah,
and like people were commenting on it and stuff, and I was just like, I was having fun with it. I didn't really take it seriously, but like I had a mutual friend with the person, and they were like, he's telling me secretly that I'm killing him and I should stop and all this stuff. So it was like I just kind of progressed. After that, I had a friend who got shot, and I always wondered if I could do a story rhyme. So I wrote the whole story about like how she got shot and all the whole thing about that. It was one of the first raps I ever wrote. And then my brother-in-law, he raps, so he had like a mixtape out a few years back, and I did a hook for him, and then he said, "Hey, do a verse." So I ended up doing the verse for him. So this is like a slow progression. I co-produced the song, helped a guy write it, because he didn't know how to do story rhymes. So, it all came to fruition.
It's like an inspiration, something that sparks that, that fire to write and be creative and come up with something. It's definitely a lot of life stuff, inspires people to come up with their best stuff. So that's definitely something, because it comes from your heart, it's not just regular jotting down, random stuff. So definitely respect that.
And that's important that you say that too, man, like coming from the heart, because like writing music, you shouldn't. Real talk, man. A lot of artists, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but they can't write. They can't write. Not that like their skills not up to par, so they like to try to freestyle and say whatever and think it sounds good and stuff. It's okay to sound good, but please, please read, please. Like y'all, please read a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like not on no disrespect for nothing. Like real talk, please, bro. Like cause we need a little bit more content to be heard. Like we can't have the same words over and over again. We need new words sometimes, So like, give us something different sometimes. That it don't gotta be super lyrical. I ain't saying about that. Just please get more words, even if you talk about regular shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely true. Making sense, like songs got to make sense somehow.
Things all the damn time. I really would love it if people just has their own life experiences in songs instead of just talking about the same thing that everybody else talks about and being afraid to say anything new.
Yeah, definitely. So, how did you guys come up with your artist name? I mean, Reggie, obviously, I know that's your first name, but then what, you just slapped it with like a Reg at it, like Reggie Reg, and how did you come up with Supa Cool? Like, what inspired you to come up with your artist name?
My dad used to always call me Reggie Reg. A lot of my girls used to call me Reggie Reg or Hubs. So, and I didn't want to use Hubs, so I used Reggie Reg.
And so, how did you come up with Supa Cool?
Oh shit! All right, man. I started off as Young Jay, right? And everybody called me Jay. I was supposed to be the junior, but my mom, I guess I was supposed to be the junior, but my mom didn't want to name me that because she had already lost a baby that had, my dad's name. So I just got a different middle name and whatnot. Kind of keep it a little clear from that. But after that, I started in my rap with that from about 14 to like 18. And one day I just was like,
Breaking up a little bit. What was that? Well, you guys think you're dropping out of connection? All I hear is rain. That's all I hear in the background is rain right now.
Well, you do have that mask with the Sub-Zero blue.
Yeah, I'm still the hood Sub-Zero when I need
I got you. No doubt. Well, actually, we're gonna jump into one of your songs really quick, and we'll come back and I'll ask you some more questions. Sounds good?
Yeah, man, do that, man. What song we running? What you want?
All right. So it's one of your tracks. I believe it's which one did I have queued up? I think it's which one is it? It could be Had to Do It or the other one. I gotta see which one it is. I didn't label it properly. That was my fault. But yeah, you'll hear it once we play it, and I'll say the name as soon as I click on it.
I'm gonna talk to the people. Let me see what you got, man.
Yeah, definitely. Then yeah, I'll play the track, and after that, we'll talk about the track. Sounds cool?
Yes, sir.
All right. Super cool.
Come right back, it don't work like that. Nah, stay where you at. What you felt by me, you gon' stand on that. Talk bad about me over there, so stay where you at. I was born and gon' leave by myself, big fact. So if you ain't really down, you can stay where you at. Man, you know what it is. If I got your back and we don't rock like that, you can stay where you at. I ain't really got time just to chill and relax. People like to get around just to talk behind your back. If it ain't nobody business, then that's where I leave it at. Leaking out the info, no, I don't believe in that. Started out the whole thing, so I gotta keep it there. I don't chill with everybody, I be with my people at. Keep that hating at a distance, cause it ain't no need for that. Fuck your terms and conditions, cause I don't agree with that. Nah, we could fall out and you could come right back. It don't work like that. Nah, stay where you at. What you felt by me, you gon' stand on that. Talk bad about me over there, so stay where you at. I was born and gon' leave by myself, big fact. So if you ain't really down, you can stay where you at. Man, you know what it is. If I got your back and we don't rock like that, you can stay where you at. Used to be my dog, yeah, I used to really rock with you. Now we don't rock at all, cause you be on that bold rhythm. No, I won't tell at all. Yeah, you know I'm solid, no pretender. You know what you did, better pray to God to forgive you. I'm just being real, I know that I did right by you. Push you up the wall, why you ain't pull me up? How you changed up on me like being real out of style. I was down, I'm up now, ain't no coming back around. Ain't we could fall out and you could come right back. It don't work like that. Nah, stay where you at. What you felt by me, you gon' stand on that. Talk bad about me over there, so stay where you at. I was born and gon' leave by myself, big fact. So if you ain't really down, you can stay where you at. Man, you know what it is. If I got your back and we don't rock like that, you can stay where you at.
Nah, see, for real, man. Stay where you at, dog. I don't need none of that bad energy around me right now. For real, man. It ain't nothing but up, for real. So, if you ain't on that, don't get back. Straight like that. Yeah. Stay where you at. You can stay where you at. Nah, stay where you at. Stay where you at. Stay where you at. You can stay where you at. This a super cool beat, bitch.
Real super cool.
Yeah, so that was Stay Where You At. That's a dope track. Stay Where You At.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did you produce? So you produced it and wrote it and everything yourself?
Yeah, everything. Yeah. So the inspiration for that track just came like the way I write music. I kind of just let it flow. Whenever it comes to me, I just write it as soon as it comes. And I have to get it out. It's a thought that comes. Like I see the whole picture in my head, and if I don't write it down right then, I lose it. So it was coming to me, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drop this song. I'm gonna just do one verse and get somebody on it. And then I was like, you know what? Just do the other one. Let me see how it sounds real quick. I like the second one better than the first one.
It definitely a dope track. I was feeling the beat and everything. The whole song was good together. The words, everything made sense. You know, if it wasn't just like a random beat with a random lyrics. It fit. So.
No, I really want people to understand. Like, if you talking about doing something negative and a light trying to push against me, I'm gonna make you stand on that. Like, you can't just come back around me no more. No, stay where you at.
Definitely respect that. So we're gonna dive into some more questions really quick. So if you guys had a chance to work with any singer in the world right now to do like a chorus for one of your songs, who would you choose and why?
I mean, is this question dead or alive? Like anybody, whoever, like
alive.
Alive. All right. Probably T.I.
Ti.
Yeah. I'll probably do a song with him. I feel like he'll be able to match my energy. I mean, it's a lot of people that I can do good work with, but just as far as in the industry wise, like I feel like he'll match my energy best.
Okay, but what about a singer though? Like I know he's more of a hip hop artist than a singer, so like an actual singer.
So R&B.
Yeah.
Um, Probably what's the girl name? Shot Clock. Element.
Ella May.
Yeah, Element.
Yeah, she's got some definitely she's on fire.
Yeah. I really like her voice. I think she really can sing. Like, so I probably would with her.
I actually could picture her like actually doing like a chorus for one of your songs. Like you guys kind of got like that same type of energy. I feel like that would match actually. But
because I like other singers and stuff, like Rihanna and B and all them, but I don't want them on my music. I'm just straight, they got their own lane, and I'm not in that kind of category.
gotcha. What about you, Reggie? Who would you choose for both your artists and your singers? Like, who would you choose? Can you hear me, Reggie? Lost him again. Can you hear me?
And to me, music, a lot of it is free. Yeah. And I've already done songs with them. It already has worked fine. But I met her at Full Sail, but now she's back in Chicago. I wish I could still do a few more songs with her because the two that we did so far have been really dope. This is called Fina. She's pretty dope too. I'd like to work with her again. But just how I am, when I used to write songs, I always used to have somebody in mind. So I have a ton of songs that I just was always thinking such and such would sound great over this, such and such would sound great over that. I had a song that I thought Mariah Carey would have sounded great on, or Michael Jackson before he died.
That's why I was asking more like if you were signed and you got a chance to work with one, like you just got signed to a label, like okay, you can work with an artist and a singer. Who would you choose? That's what I was more getting at. But definitely that you show respect to the people you work with. That's pretty cool.
Stevie Wonder, because he's like one of my favorite singers.
You said Iman?
No, Stevie Wonder.
Oh, Stevie Wonder. I was like Iman. I was like, damn, I heard that name in a minute. Stevie Wonder, yeah, definitely.
Iman, man. Oh, hell no. My
Iman. I was like, what?
The original Drake right there, boy.
I was like, damn.
That's the original Drake. You ain't see the video? That fuck you, ho. I don't want you back. You don't remember that?
Yeah, that guy. Okay.
Man, that's the original Drake. Go back and look at the video. Man,
so I was like, what?
I'm back in.
You gotta bring it back some old school right there. So, what kind of hip hop would you guys consider to be? Would you consider yourself to be more underground, more of a pop style, more of a rugged style? Like, what would you consider your hip hop style to be?
I feel like I'm kind of in the middle because I feel like the songs that I do, a lot of them could be on radio. I don't really purposely chase after radio, but I do feel like a lot of the songs that I did could probably hit radio. So I do feel like, but I don't feel like I'm, like necessarily like Nelly or somebody like a lot of really poppy sound stuff. I just think, I think I'm kind of in the middle, I guess. I'm not super mainstream, but I'm not super underground either.
Gotcha. What about you, Super Cool?
Man, I'm like, I don't know. I think that the people that don't be able to tell it, man, like they tell me all the time, your music, you should already have your music out there. You're supposed to be out there. Like, I already know that, but I'm not like I said, you can't put me in a category. I'm all over the place because I could do something deep and dark, and then I could do something that's very motivational. Like I do a lot of motivational music. Do club bangers. Whatever it is you want to hear, I can do all of it.
This guy's like me in the sense that he'll sample anything. Video games, Duke Ellington type shit. Like
whatever you're just feeling in that moment then, basically.
Yeah.
Just whatever's that vibe, that inspiration that comes up, you'll be down for, basically. Yeah. So what DAW systems do you guys usually do to like produce your music?
Shit, I use FL Studio mostly for everything, but I know how to use all the other programs. That's just my preferred choice. But, you got Logic, Pro Tools, Studio One. You go back to Acid and what it is, Sonar, Cakewalk, and Cubase and Reasons, and I can keep naming them. We can go to Audacity. Like we go out down the list of everything. And I don't use all of it, but like I said,
FL is your main one though. FL Studios.
Yeah, I usually use Logic myself. I just got FL Studio like the other day. I haven't delved into it yet, but I'll figure it out.
Like since Fruity Loops, when I started on Fruity Loops when I was like 12, 13, I thought it was so whack. The sound sounded so garbage. But now, like, you got everything. You use all the plugins. You use everything you use on any other DAW, and you can still get better sounds now, even with what they have already come installed. So they came a long way since I remember way back in the day. They're one of the first that a lot of people.
1.8, bro. You hear me?
Yeah.
I started 1.8. This real life though, you know what I'm saying? You see how we doing it, this real. There ain't no fake going on right now, you know what I'm saying? But anyway,
hey, you guys
I started out on 1.8, man, like with this shit, and I had to figure it out. I'm like, you know what, you're right. I was thinking the same thing, like these sounds, they're not really up to par, man, like what I need to do. So what do I need to do to like get them there? So I started tweaking them. I started messing with stuff and making my own sound in order for me to get what I wanted until I could get those sounds. So if I needed a horn, I was gonna make that bit. I was gonna get in there, play with the frequencies until I got something to sound like a horn.
Exactly.
That's what it was gonna be. Like, period.
Yeah, definitely like layering different kicks up. That's always the best way. Just like sometimes layer something different sounds together.
Yeah, layering it, that's it helps boost it, hell yeah. But mostly just like sounds in there, like the synthesizer sounds that you would normally not even touch, use, or anything, I would go in and mess with them and play, like really touch them till they sound to the liking that I really wanted.
Exactly. Good stuff. So what tips would you give to new producers and new hip hop artists coming out? Like what kind of tips or advice would you give to the up and comers?
Read. That's number one. Read something. It don't have to be a book. It don't have to be. Read something that you're interested in. It don't matter what it is. If it's an article on your phone, anything. Read and do that at least once a day. Read something different that you're interested in or that you see. Really read it, not just skim through and look at this and look at videos. Take time and get some words together. And also find your own style, because everybody sounds the same and you're going to get lost in the mix. You can't stand out if you sound just like everybody else.
Exactly.
That's pretty much my advice to everybody. I say good luck, man. I'm willing to work with you and help you, so it ain't just me talking. I got real constructive criticism. That's what a lot of these artists that's out here in the game, they're not doing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just criticize, help.
Exactly.
Help and show them the way. You feel me? If you're going to criticize and you ain't showing them the way, you ain't doing nothing. You just bashing the person.
Exactly.
If they don't follow that way, then, they got me with them. But
that's how I am. Like, if you're going to criticize me, like, tell me, guide me to the right direction. I used to do that with singers all the time growing up. Like, I used to work with singers, but I'm, like, really strict, like a Simon Cowell. Like, I'm really strict, but I'm going to help them to reach that level that they need to be, instead of just saying, no, you're garbage, go away. No, I said, do this, do that, work on this. You get it. You're going to get it. You just need to twerk it. And then that realism kicks in, and then, they get a little stressed. They take a breather. They come back collective, and they're good to go. So, that motivation sometimes helps them along the way.
I would agree with that. I also would say, I remember Nas said something to the effect of, don't be afraid. You got to be ballsy enough to tell the truth, even if it makes you look bad in a lot of ways. Right? People are afraid to say things that are going to make them look bad, or maybe too depressing, or going to their life. That like Tupac to me was great because, he talked about his mom's drug habits, and he talked about growing up without a dad. He put a lot of stuff that was kind of embarrassing in there, and it made him more interesting. And I think most MCs will not do that because they're just always about trying to look large and look like everything's all great all the time. And I think you're a more interesting person if you can just tell the truth.
That's facts. That's facts. So we're actually gonna dive right into one of Reggie's tracks right now. It's called "Made of Money." So we're gonna jump at that really quick, and then we'll come back for more questions. Sounds good?
All right, let's do that.
All right, I'll be right back.
Money. My mind was telling me no, but my body was telling me yes. I should've listened to my mind, cause you're bringing me nothing but stress. When a dick appointment leads to wick appointments, child support leads to court appointments. How did my life become so disjointed? That's the question, here's the answer. A woman with a grudge like a fucking cancer. When I met you, you were a fucking dancer. You were crazy, I saw the signs. Never ever should've went and drunk that wine. Now I'm staring at her like, damn, she's fine. We got laid, a life was made. I don't regret it, but it's pathetic. You would take my last time if you could get it. I was in the courthouse sad as fuck, knowing that you're gonna take my last buck. Looked the judge right straight in her eyes, said I ain't made of money. So many wanna speak on it, then become weak on it. They flaunt it, they go broke every single day. So many wanna speak on it, then become weak on it. They flaunt it, then they go broke like every day. They claim that their life is all about money, but I place God and family way above money. So many wanna speak on it, then become weak on it. They flaunt it, and they go broke like every day. You make $10 an hour, but you live an hour away. You spend $10 on lunch on the same day that you got paid. There's money up in your pocket, almost none saved up in your bank. It took you 20 whole dollars just to fill up half of your tank. You're barely working 40 hours, and you're lucky that you're making that. But you're in the right to work state, so each paycheck they taking tax. You're working really hard, but you ain't making no bread. It seems that life, it really sucks, and straight up shit in the bed. Every day you think about just quitting like good riddance if you ain't gonna give me a raise, cause I ain't made of money. So many wanna speak on it, then become weak on it. They flaunt it, they go broke every single day. So many wanna speak on it, then become weak on it. They flaunt it, then they go broke like every day. They claim that their life is all about money, but I place God and family way above money. So many wanna speak on it, then become weak on it. They flaunt it, and they go broke like every day. Money.
That was "Made of Money" by Reggie Reg. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, you guys there? All right. So, Reg, tell me about the track a little bit.
Oh, that track? That was the first track I actually ever made. I wrote it because what happened was I was with this rapper and we were working on some tracks and it was really taking a long time. And I was like, hey, you should write about your life because he had a really interesting life. But he wanted to rap about stuff that I felt like, just was more mainstream. And I knew like a little bit about his life. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to write it myself and I'm going to throw a little bit of you in there. So it was just kind of a made up story. People think that, I don't have a girlfriend. I never had a kid. I don't have a kid. And I don't have a baby mom. But it was just a story. So, it was a story about somebody I know. And then the second verse, I was just trying to explain how, I just tried to write stuff about stuff people can relate to.
Exactly.
People having jobs that suck and, not being able to afford anything and just being like, hey, if you ain't going to give me a job, I'm out of here. Everybody, I think, has been in that situation. So I put in the song.
Exactly. Not every song has to be, a story that has to be real. Like, you could still come out with fake stories as long as it's appealing and people can relate to it in some way or another. So you can still tweak things around.
It's based on a true story. It's just not my story.
Yeah,
It's something I know.
that's what a lot of people talk about. I think even Immortal Technique did that on a couple of his tracks. Told stories that wasn't his, but
Yeah.
it's still a
And
story that people can relate to.
There was a kind of consistency to it. It's like the first verse was really about, how, having baby mama dramas can cause you to lose a lot of money. And the second verse was just about how, having just a job that really doesn't pay very well and how like little things can take the money away from your pockets and stuff, like how much you pay for food and pay for gas and this and that. So, yeah.
No that. So we'll move on to the next set of questions. What type of gear do you guys use when you create music? So, I mean, we went over the door. You guys talk about FL Studios or Logic, but what actual physical gear do you use when you produce music? Do you just use the mouse and keyboard, or are you actually using actual pianos or different modules or anything?
Well, yeah. Me, I usually use Logic. A lot of my melodies are like I've used a lot of blues progressions and stuff, 12-bar blues progressions. It's kind of like something I incorporate into my sound, and it's worked pretty well for me so far. It's not something I've done in every song, but so far it's worked pretty good. So a lot of my songs are that. I don't like I've done almost all of my beats myself, except this one song called "When It Rains It Pours." That was all him. He did that beat. He was like, "Hey, did you write to this?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" Mm-hmm. Came out really dope. It's kind of a personal story. It's kind of fucked up, but
We're gonna be dropping that song actually later on, but yeah, no doubt. So okay, what about you, Super Cool?
I mean, just pretty much the mouse, man.
Just the mouse.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes.
Yeah, I really don't like. I use the keys like to press, see sounds and stuff, but I really don't use it to play anything. Mm-hmm. I can play a little bit, but
I can't play at all, so sometimes I just gotta whatever I can do.
I'm saying I can play. I can play a little bit, but I don't like playing. I don't even like sitting there to do it. I just rather put it together what I know in my mind onto the screen.
Exactly. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people do that, so not wrong with that at all. So we'll dive into a question for both of you guys. What artist inspired you, to create most of your music, or inspired you to become an artist in general? Like, what's your main artist that really inspired you to do what you do?
Tupac was the first one that inspired me to write. Like, I heard Shed So Many Tears. And at that point, I really hadn't heard a lot of rap music. So it really got me on a different level. And then we had a tape. And the tape, usually, like, if you get like a single, it come with the lyrics. It didn't have the lyrics in there. And I'm like, no, I gotta learn these, man. I like this song. So I wrote all the lyrics word for word. And after I wrote it, I was like, I can do this. I can do this myself. Like, I can write my own shit. I should write my own music. And I started writing. And it came out good, and then everybody was like, man, you got talent, man. Like, you really talented. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I think I found what I like to do already.
That's a great inspiration, honestly. That's like a perfect way to explain where your inspiration come from. I appreciate that. That's some people are like, this, or I just heard that. Like,
man, like, I got real stories about this, man. Like, I was a good kid in school, man. I wasn't one of those real bad troublemakers, man. I used to stay to myself and whatnot. But I got my work done early one day in second grade. We were in the library. Got my work done, so the teacher told me to go sit by myself. They ain't give me nothing else to do. So I'm in there being fidgety as a kid supposed to. It don't matter where you at, library or whatever. And I start beating on the table. Nobody really paying attention because nobody over there with me. So a couple more kids get done with their work. They come over there and sit with me. They hear me making the beat on the table. Now everybody starts shaking the table, moving around, moving to the beat. Teacher get mad, librarian get mad because they hear us in there. You know we loud as hell.
Yeah.
In there. I got my first referral off of that in life, off of that day, beating on the desk. I got my ass beat like how I was beating on that desk.
I was like, boy.
Yeah, man. I got a testimony, man. I I was basically getting whooped in the stardom right there,
Yeah, man, you can't mess around with, especially back in the day, man. We couldn't mess up. Man. Get the ladle out. You gotta run.
When I was a kid, as far as rapping, the group that inspired me to rapping was Run DMC, and most specifically Run, because I don't know why, but like I just kind of gravitated to Run. Everybody when I was like in the 3rd grade wanted to be DMC for some reason, but I always was more a Run person. I don't know. And so I was always trying to write rhymes, and I did it in the style of Run, but I sucked badly. So I would write them, and I'd get embarrassed for it, and I would stick them in the middle of my cushion of my bed, and my brother would find them and read them and be like, "This sucks." That's why I didn't rap for like a long time.
Oh no!
Wow. Yeah, I mean, we all have stories like that. I used to write rhymes like, why did I write that? Like, what is this? But you know what? You liked it at the time. You wrote it. You were feeling it. Something inspired you to come up with something, even if it wasn't the greatest. It still came from you. And I always say that's the most important thing.
Nothing beats a track.
The reason but I always considered myself more of a songwriter because, the first songs I wrote were hip hop songs. I started writing when I was like 12 or something, and I didn't even I barely heard any hip hop when I was like 12. And then when Run DMC came out.
Oh, breaking up again. Oh, you there?
Back in the 80s and stuff. It was better than the pop. And I kind of gravitated more to hip hop because I just...
Where would you choose?